We live. We live.
Indeed, we are. Sleepless Radio Pull Up a Chair episode 50. Pull Up a Chair episode 50. We're almost about to be celebrating our 1 year happy birthday for Pull Up a Chair. Thank you guys for being tuned in since day one as well. We greatly appreciate the love. And you can tell we got snuck in the house. Or if you just got hip yesterday as well. Or if you get hip tomorrow and you're watching this once we've already posted it. But happy Pull Up a Chair episode 50. This is obviously to show you how I believe in everything happens for a reason. We're also celebrating hip-hop's 50th birthday today. But that's not the only other birthday we're going to talk about that we're also celebrating today. A certain person that you guys are well acquainted with, a certain face, a certain voice that you're actually hearing as we speak.
No way.
It was Big Super Fried Snooker's birthday this week. Big happy birthday, round of applause.
Appreciate it.
Glad you had a good birthday
Yes,
week.
sir, yes,
I know we talked a little bit pre-pod. You got a nice celebration and good birthday relaxation.
And had to get back into my culture, the Italian horn back on.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Nice. Hey, I got mine back on too. So look at that. We're both rocking and rolling.
Had to.
Both rocking and rolling.
The sisters blessed me with it because in Italian culture, if you buy your own, it's bad luck. So you can't buy your own Italian horn. Like you got not earned it, but do have to be. I think it's 16 usually. I think I got my first one, but I lost it when Nala was a puppy.
I gotta go let wifey in.
Oh, wifey!
But you keep telling them what you're saying.
So lost the first one that I got way back when Nala was a puppy. We were running around the backyard, chasing her, getting her puppy energy out. And the shit just fell off my chain in the backyard when Nala was a puppy. But so we finally got that back, and we back in, and it's looking good, shiny.
Oh yeah,
nice little over flip.
You got some new fits, some new necklaces going on today. That's for sure.
Shout out Vince the Micro on the shirt.
Hell yeah! Shout out Vince. Yeah. Big shout outs today. Nothing but shout outs around
episode 50. So shout out my homies Lanez and Rhea for
50.
Hell yeah. If you know, you know about
50. So, before we dive into it, let's make sure, just in case they don't know, that they will now.
Okay.
To my left, I got the birthday week special, Big Super Fried Snooker off the top of the inflatable bouncy house steel cage.
Oh, yeah, we're getting it. It's lit.
Oh, yeah.
My nephew getting fucked up. That's all I'm saying.
He's getting the frog splash?
He getting the Swanton Bomb frog splash. He catching an RKO off the top.
Jeez.
He catching a choke slam.
Damn.
He catching a Batista bomb for the good times.
Good God Almighty.
Yeah, that's basically what my dad's gonna be saying in Jerry's voice.
Good God Almighty.
Not the steel chair, Nick. Not the steel chair.
That's what they're saying in Montgomery, Alabama, and Detroit right now too.
Hey, fuck around, find out.
Hell yeah.
That's what that is. And
cheers to that.
Yeah, shout out the dude, the white dude that got fucked up though.
With the folding chair?
I don't know which white dude that got
actually, I think it was the bitch that got popped with the chair.
Multiple people got popped by the chair. But the dude, he posted a thing on social media, both eyes black, nose shit in. He was like, well, shit. Does that 65-year-old man really do know how to throw him? He took his L with
graciously.
Yeah. It was the best. I saw a comment saying, damn, white people really know how to take their L's at least. I was like,
some.
Fair. He did. That's why I said at least he was like, shit. Fuck around, I found out.
Yeah. And if you don't know, now you will. It is El Tucker Tente, the ultimate motherfucking sensei, the one who, of course, taught Bruce Lee everything he motherfucking knows, a.k.a. Space Mountain Stoney, a.k.a. Stoney Montana, a.k.a. Bed Burgundy. Why? Because they sleep on your boy, a.k.a. Young Dumbledore, the lyrical wizard, a.k.a. Edward Swisherhands, a.k.a. call me what you will, just don't call me broke or sad. It's Mr. Keep the Love High and the motherfucking hate low, baby. We smoking intros as always on this beautiful Friday, sleepless afternoon.
Stay blessed
and stay best and less stressed as always. Yeah. First thing I did want to get into, I know we just briefly talked about the Montgomery thing. Yeah. That was definitely really wild what happened. Of course, I think that
it's not really wild what happened. Truly, it was fun. That's what happens when
that was a news story that was fun.
That's what happens when people think they're entitled or privileged for no fucking reason.
They're gonna think twice when they go to park them boats.
It wasn't.
Try that in a small town.
No, they were allowed to park it. That's the thing. They were allowed to park it there. But when another bigger ship was coming in, not a cruise ship or something, larger ship had to dock. and they're like, "Yo, we gotta move these so
they're like, you ain't gonna try that in this
so
small
they can
town.
get in safely and not fuck up everything." And what do you mean we have to move? I believe. I think this is the understanding.
Oh, the privilege kicked in. What do you mean we can't dock this boat?
I have to move my fucking boat?
That's impossible.
You told me before. Yeah, before you were allowed. Now you can't. I'm the person on the dock that's in charge of the dock. I got told.
We changed our minds.
I got told these people have to move now. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Move your fucking boat. Oh, you think there's only one of me and you're gonna jump me? Hold on. Oh. That's the sound that if you got real friends, if they hear that sound,
it's like the who do you?
Exactly. It's the bat signal in the air. Like you literally saw a man swimming from a different dock.
Oh no, that guy. I think Maul said it best.
Did you see when he got up out of the water? He said,
Maul had to take that dude has been in the water for like thousands of years, just waiting for that moment that
just
he had
popped
to
up
come
like
out.
Jason.
Yeah, like this is my moment.
I'm here. But like you literally saw him get out of the water, fatigued. Said, "Whoa!" Take a deep breath and then said, "All right, now I'm fucking somebody up because I had to get wet."
I think the scariest part about this whole thing was he was obviously pretty deep in the water, right? And that surface that he had to lift himself off on did not look easy. And I've lifted myself out of many pools. Granted, probably more difficult for me.
I was gonna say,
however, though, the way he extended the arms and then immediately went up and over, I was like, "Oh God!" If you see Aquaman coming out of the water, you gotta back the fuck up.
This is a good.
That was Maul's quote too. That was not me. Aquaman was Maul.
This is a good. It's not science, but it's science. So at Lake Erie at the lighthouse, you know this spot. We jump off the back. But I've jumped off the back multiple times throughout my life.
Won't name drop him, but homeboy, where his initials are MM, almost split his head on a rock doing that jump.
So we jump off, whatever. But to get back up, you've got to pull yourself over the
little bit of holstering.
But if you're smart, you learn to ride the waves. So you
don't want to go up as the waves trying to bring you back down.
You don't want to try to pull yourself up when like you said, the wave's at the lowest.
When that undertow's busted.
But as soon as that wave is coming up towards the top, if you kind of like a dolphin or how crocodiles splash out, if you ride that wave and then you're using like half your weight. Like, so at the end of the day, it's one fucking pull up. Like, no disrespect, everyone should be able to. Might be a little harder for others. You should be able to do one fucking pull up, get yourself out of that water.
There's a movie I'm going to reference later that
I
think you'll laugh at. Pause that.
It was more or less, he was literally swam from one dock. Saw this shit happening. Probably was like 50 feet.
That was a fast swim, too.
He was at least 50 feet, though. Like,
yeah, out. Oh, yeah.
It was at least a 50-foot swim.
And he heard the call. And
so he could have been at like this back dock and saw it on the front one. Jumped in, swam to the and then got up, fatigued, said, and then looked at someone.
I'm going to be honest. At one point during his paddle, when he was getting closer to the dock, he started to remind me of like Jaws. Like he was going to come out of the water and everybody was going to get fucked up.
Yes. But it was like his like a little bit of a slowdown towards the end. It was like, I think, because like people were like, "Oh, is he getting tired?" No, he was planning that wave. He was trying to, let's plan it now. So that's what I was saying. And then he got up. I was like, "Oh." And, like in my mind, like if my friend's in that situation, I'll swim to help my friend. But as soon as I get out of the water like him, he's like, I just had to swim. Someone's getting fucking killed by this punch.
Got body.
Like someone's teeth, annihilation.
Because I was just happy to see the folding chairs now.
I had to swim to come help.
I'm liking
all my shit is now wet.
Hold on.
I didn't check my phone.
The folding chair just made me think of it. Do you remember the iconic scene in WWE? It was Judgment Day 2004 or 5, I want to say. When JBL pops out from behind that announcer table and just cracks Guerrero with the nastiest chair shot of all time.
That's like
so somebody did a meme of that, and I thought it was funny. Where when the chair gets swung, it's like the actual like it shows like JBL swinging it, but then right when it connects to Eddie, it makes the sounds of Eddie, but it's cuts to the person in Montgomery swinging the chair, and you just hear JR go, "Good God Almighty!"
But
that
was literally how that shit went down. Though.
Yeah, like, that fucking wrist wind up. Holy shit!
I was more like, I got mind boggled.
At one point, I thought I was about to see a concerto.
I got mind boggled though, because like there was this one woman that was on the pontoon boat or whatever, white woman literally was on the boat, jumped, not jumped. She was like trying to help another lady. That
She
was
did like
jumped.
a little penguin hop.
She got off the boat. I'm not saying she jumped. Like,
If it's the bitch that I think you're thinking about,
she was like
I don't
over
think
here.
She, can do much
she got off the boat, not where you're supposed to though, but climbed over the side, whatever. Was trying to go help another white woman that was getting jumped, like just trying to stop people punching her.
Oh yeah.
This bitch got annihilated. She gets put to the floor. I'm like, oh, you should have just stayed your ass on that boat. I know you meant well, but like, you could have just saved yourself about
wrong place, wrong time. For
saved
meanwhile,
yourself about 18 punches to the
that shit was
face,
shit.
chest, and stomach. If you just kept your
that
ass
shit
on the
was
boat.
fucking hilarious.
And like, I think it all goes to privilege and like
we got our comeuppance. Don't you worry about that. I firmly believe we got our comeuppance on that.
Because I don't know what actually happened. You know what I mean? Like,
roles were reversed. We got told try that in a small town.
I'm saying like
last time I said
we don't know what initially what the whole situation was like. If it was literally like the dock person going to ask them to move their boat for a bigger boat coming into the dock, and they were that. Like,
one thing I know about white people is you never minor inconvenience us. We will make it a much bigger problem than it ever should have been.
You didn't though. You got your ass beat. You made it a bigger problem.
That's what I said. We got to comeuppance.
I mean, they made it a bigger problem for their health insurance.
Good. Get those statements out. Fuck them.
But like,
let God sort them out.
All you had to do was take 30 seconds to move this fucking boat.
Just literally move it.
And now everybody on this boat got their ass beat. Multiple times.
I agree. Fuck. What'd you say? Fuck around, find out.
Yeah. Like, all stemming from, we were told we were allowed to park here 45 minutes ago. Yes, you were. But now you have to fucking move. No. What do you... Okay.
What I tell you, minor inconvenience in the white folks. 101 on how to get us all fired up.
Not even, like... That just goes for privileged folk. Like, anybody that, like... What gives you the right to be at this dock instead of somebody...
Oh, let me tell you one thing.
It's like
entitlement. Us white people, we love that one. We love our entitlement.
Yeah, those white people sure do.
But speaking of
shout out Montgomery whooping their ass.
But speaking of me being in the New York fit that I mentioned when I was giving the intro, I actually got on the hat, got on the socks. I don't want to tell you what name is on the back of this, but I had to rep a little bit of the 50 merch from the show. It's actually A-Rod. But so we were both at the 50 Cent show.
Yes,
a lot of people were outside. We were outside for 50. Jeremiah Busta. We were actually literally outside because we got rained on at one point.
Fuck that shit.
But it was all good. We all made the best of it. Ended up being a great night. But to go through the Blossom experience of the whole 50 Cent show, how do you... I know it kind of caught you on a hot ones kind of thing where you're coughing.
Jeremiah did well. Probably 15-minute set. I think.
How smooth was it for you to get in, like in and out? Venue wise,
smooth. My homie brought a lawn chair though, and they're asking about those if they're too tall. And
I didn't even know that.
I tried to I was not trying to tell them they were gonna tell you no. But I was like, "Are you sure you can bring these ones in?" Because it's if it's so high, it's about the height, not the. So if you have a low sitting one, you're good. But if it's a normal one, can't because you'll block more people.
Gotcha.
So I was on the walk there or whatever. We parked in the very first front lot.
Okay.
And so it was quick, smooth, chilled. We got there 5:30. So we were chilling for a little while. He wanted to beat traffic down there. Cool. Got there, walking in. I almost finessed the chair in. First dude at the thing, ticket dude, he was like, "Oh, that's blah blah blah, that's too tall." I was like, "No, it's just it's a double seater. It's just wide." So I tried to finesse it, play it off, "No, it's."
You tried.
It worked on the first guy. Second dude, I don't know what they're paying this man.
He took it way too serious.
I don't think they're paying him that
enough
much to do all that. He literally was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!" Stopped me, grabbed the thing, turned it to the picture, so length, width, height, the actual measurements. He's like, "No, that's not going to work." I was like, "Fuck." So we hit it in some trees, got it back when we were walking back to the truck. Long ass walk back though, like.
Or you had a long walk back?
All the way to the front.
First time. I see. So it was easy to get out, but it was a long walk to get to the bitch.
Yeah.
See, ours was a little bit of a slow drive out, but we got that parking where it was literally like right by the gate.
It's not too. So it's like a pro and con of.
You either get in quick or you get out or have to do the drive out.
Yeah, with some traffic. And hey, we beat traffic, so that's cool. But yeah, it's smooth.
We actually got there really early for this.
Jeremiah, I think they could have done.
Wifey officially pulling up a chair?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if you guys will agree with this. I think they could have had the show flow more smoothly. Because
we're talking about 50 show.
The DJ before Jeremiah, cool. Obviously that happens because you want to wait till a good portion of the crowd's in to start Jeremiah. Jeremiah did 5-6 songs, maybe 15 minutes.
Went for about, I'd say maybe 20, 25.
Okay, so.
Jeremiah was my favorite only because I listened to him a lot in high school, like towards the end.
And he played into, he knew what he was doing. He only had 20, 30 minutes. He played the hits he had.
The bangers.
Busta, and then there was like, but the intermissions in between. That's where I was like, the flow could have been better.
Yeah,
because before Jeremiah, I understand, but then between Jeremiah and Busta, it was like an odd length.
Like a lot of dead space.
It was an odd length. Like usually it's a 10, 15, cool. With a DJ,
like 20, 25.
It was an odd length, and then he comes out, kills it, shows some new.
I love that.
Did his old music and did 2 new songs or.
Beach Ball and the Big City Boys.
One was unreleased, at least one.
Big City Boys.
So that was dope. But then there was like 12 minutes, and then the rain came. First big. Well,
if you remember, the rain actually happened during Busta's set, which threw me.
But it was. I'm
not gonna lie, it threw me off.
It was like a, not a light. It wasn't a drizzle, but it wasn't a heavy rain. It was like a casual misting.
I just remember that it was right when he started Look Over Your Shoulder. And it just turned into a downpour, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm literally standing in it. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
So beginning of
like this is one of my favorite Busta joints, and it's a downpour right now.
Yeah, Busta like started as a drizzle, then like skipped over, then like 7 minutes later, it's just out of nowhere, downpour.
Downpour.
I remember because I went to the bathroom.
I actually had,
but it went for like 20, 25 minutes.
I had a blunt lit, and bro, I fought for this blunt for my life. I'm over here fucking.
With like a little shield.
I literally.
It's got like raindrops all over it. It's burning all fucking weird. It's canoeing like 3 different ways. It's like it actually canoed so bad it turned into a whitewater raft. Like I was like trying to get this thing balanced to smoke it.
I was prepared for rain. I wasn't prepared for that much fucking rain that fast.
I've never in all the concerts that I've been to, I've never been in that rain. I've never been in
so heavy and so fast.
Dude, and then everything was soaked. My
25 minutes of just straight waterfall rain, literal waterfall rain, and then stopped, and then
stopped completely,
and then you got like a little mist or drizzle,
like
every so often. But it was like,
which
honestly, it was probably like 35, 40 minutes of rain.
Now, I got a question: were you and your group ever considering calling it?
We did, shortly into the 50, because we were just so soaked.
Really?
Wow. Me, my homie, and one of our other friends, acquaintance. It was just like we were prepared for rain, not that much fucking. So like, if we would like,
we at least had the tree to cover.
I had one like sandwich bag. We had 3 phones in it and like 2.5 grams of bud because we were like so much rain. We're like just put it in a plastic bag, like dry.
Yeah, that's what we.
So we all of our cases like. Yeah, so it was just like.
See, like we had blankets and stuff. My blanket is like an outdoor waterproof like blanket. So, I mean, pretty much like we just threw our phones in my fanny pack.
Right.
What was that? But like, and we were also underneath a tree, so it's like we were getting drenched, but like we at least had a little bit.
I got caught in downpour in the lawn or like on the field, whatever.
Yeah.
Lawn. I guess I was right. Hill, I guess I was looking for. But like halfway through the downpour, my buddy, he took his friend to the bathroom because she didn't want to go alone. So, rightfully so. But then downpour came. Like 2 minutes into that, I get a call. Answer it on the Apple Watch. He's like, we're in the trees. Come here. Like, we're like, we're not coming back there, basically. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, and then get under the trees is helping, but it was literally like, when I say waterfall, I mean like this way, sideways, diagonal, every angle. So like even under the tree,
you could wring out the color. Yeah,
like even under a tree, you're getting still rained on, but not soaked. But it's still like raining.
What ended up, my perspective on that one, so got in, everything was real smooth getting in. We literally ran to our tree spot. Smart. I almost tore my ACL 3 times on the way running there.
Start doing some free body squats.
Try running on that hill, bro. I'm over here in boots trying.
No, don't say that. Middle downpour, carrying a small lawn chair and like a beach. It's like a folding bag, but it folds out to like a 3-person like a little sitting area, like the length of the couch. So folded that up and carrying a lawn chair while talking on an Apple Watch. Which tree? The trees. All right. Where were we sitting? Left or right? Like, just come to the top. I'll find you, motherfucker. So like, I'm running up the hill with shits. I understand it. It was just
rough. But yeah, so we got to there, and then everybody went and got their food, got their drinks. I did try. It was the souvenir edition, 50 cent. It came with like this. How would you describe the cup? It was just like a
tumbler cup.
Yeah, like a little tumbler cup had a 50 cent bullet hole on it.
Cup with a 50
yeah, and it was spiked, and it came with
how much was that? Not like
30, and that came with raspberry. I want to say it was raspberry vodka or something like that with lemonade, and then it came with 50 cents brand of cognac. That shit was
it a good pour though? At least?
Oh yeah, that thing was to the.
That's
brim.
what I'm saying. Is like
that
$30 for that.
That thing was a great vibe.
If they poured it heavy and like worth $30, like because at any event concert, like a normal pop is like $6 for just one can.
Crazy, yeah.
So like if you're getting an actual cup, it's probably the same amount of liquid as this cup would hold.
I would say they had it probably up to like
probably holds 2.5 pops worth.
No,
if you actually poured out that one cup is, I thought it'd be like 18. I thought it was okay. I thought it was like an 18.
No.
Okay, but still, like if they poured at least half of that bitch with liquor, then like that's actually a decent price.
Oh yeah, my face was like, holy shit.
Yeah, actually fuck you up. Because that's the one thing I forgot to do was, because wasn't gonna go planning, like things fell through, blah blah,
and then last minute clutch.
My dude hit me. I was like, got extra ticket. I was like, damn, okay. He's like, I'm on my way. I was like, damn, I got a shower. What? He's like, yeah, he's like, be swift. I was like,
hell yeah.
I was like, okay, but didn't have time to grab a bottle or anything, so I got there. I was like, fuck. I had 3 Jello shots in my bag. I was like, damn, that's it. But then my homie,
I brought some Ciroc for the way there.
We saw my homie walking by with his girl. We're like, I was like, is that Mo down? And he's like, Malik. And he looked over, like, he's like, yeah, I guess it is. And he's like, I was like, fuck, I don't got anything to drink. He's like, drink this. I was like, okay. He's like, want me to go back for the bottle? It's like, he's like, well, actually, if you want the bottle, it's about 12 cars. And I was like, oof. I'm all right.
Yeah, shit.
I should have, but it wasn't.
But then, so we got our drinks, walked over to the merch table. I liked what merch they had to offer. I thought that was really good. Ideally,
that was my favorite shirt out of all of them. Yeah.
Ideally, if I could have got the Get Rich or Die Trying autograph vinyl, that would have been cool.
$350 though.
$375.
Same thing.
I saw that.
I would have hustled them down to $3.
Then I think it was $500 if you wanted that with Massacre, which was the double, but still only Get Rich was signed.
Still though,
I guess if
me and Dom saw
you're gonna ball, you might as well ball all out and get them both. Like fuck. But I thought that was cool. It was either between this for me or the one Busta Rhymes shirt. But I was like, look, if this is 50, I gotta go. For the
not even that was my favorite because it was, but that's like the only one that I was like looked at and I was like, that'd actually be worth it at a concert price.
I saw Jeremiah had one female.
This is one thing like with you. I understand like you're a movie guy and like concert head. You could go to the website as soon as his tour ends, and that shirt instead of like even the day after a Cleveland show, instead of 65 because of supply and demand, like we're at the show.
This was only 45.
the website, it might be 35 the next day after a Cleveland show for Cleveland people, just because they're like
Little
Yeah.
discount thing.
and
That's
supplies.
what our one friend did. She was just gonna go online and buy like the concert shirt, but like I'm
But
like
then
that.
you
Like,
don't
I
know.
like
You take the chance of it not being online or out of
Yeah.
stock. But
I like the I'm always been that person. Like I like to go to the merch
and that's
stand
why
and
I
get merch.
and that's why
I'm
it started was like,
Hell
I'm
yeah.
not trying to not throwing shade at anybody
no,
that
I'm
does
just
that.
saying, like I'll pay
'Cause
the extra money.
Luke,
like, I don't care.
he's a movie head junkie.
Yeah.
He'll go to the theaters. Me,
Oh,
It's gotta be-
I see what you mean. Full experience.
a full.
Yeah,
It has to be a movie I actually like. Okay,
Like you're dying to see.
like I'll go see that in the theater actually because it'll be
Well,
worth
me,
it.
I'll go
It'll be
see the
worth
fucking
it.
new vampire thing that just came out today. Because why not?
But like Avatar: Way of Water, wouldn't catch me dead seeing that at a theater because that's 4 hours I have to spend at a theater, and like I actually broke into like 2.5 parts at my house watching it. Watched like 45 minutes.
did it that way.
and like had to leave.
That's how I did
had
The
to leave the
Irishman.
house. So I was like, "Fuck it, good stopping point." Came back, watched another like hour, and now I got like an hour left.
Dude, I'll never
So
forget.
it's like,
When I was watching The Irishman, I had to do that shit. But yeah, so 50 show, I thought they all did great. Busta set, did I get my style a little crint just because of the rain? I mean, of course, it's impossible not to happen.
and I think that could have
But
affected the flow of the concert for their.
It threw off the vibe for a minute for sure, because it's like, okay, like
they
you said,
could've
I'm
worked-
literally sitting here soaked.
And like bringing 50 out, they probably waited extra
But-
to see if another.
I
huge
definitely
rain
think
thing
the
was
group
coming or
that we were like with, like, I think we, like,
It helped.
my dude, great shake and bake brother and Koozie, he said when I thought about calling it, believe it or not, I was actually the first one that said anything. And he's
Soon
like,
as I got
dude, he's
offered
like,
it,
he's
I
like, we're
wasn't-
already soaked. He's like, we might as well just say fuck it and just
I mean,
embrace
we're
it.
already at that point.
Like,
Open.
And
Like, we're not gonna get any less wet. We might as well just enjoy. And it
50
stopped raining. If it didn't stop
50
raining, we might be having a different
you know
discussion
me,
right
like
now.
50 is literally one of my top artists, like favorite and like that I actually like.
That's why for
That's
a minute
like-
I was gonna hike you over the fence. If I
But
had to.
literally, like, I don't know why this one, like, I wasn't like as excited, like, to like, I don't know if it's because like I had work next day and like, you know what I mean, didn't want to get too fucked up, wasn't like pre-gamed how I should have been or whatnot, but I wasn't like
Okay,
in.
I had that happen at the first Wayne show.
And then soon as like when the rain came, I wasn't gonna
Yeah,
throw
you
it in
were
the
just-
air because I didn't drive.
Yeah.
But then as soon as it got thrown in the air, I was like, well, shit, if y'all want to, I'm down. Because like.
Yeah, you just
Like,
feel it.
How much did you see of 50 set? Which I thought he had an amazing set, by the way. I thought he did great. I loved how he kept coming out in different
First song,
outfits.
probably. I think
Really?
we started walking for like when he came out. That way, like, okay, we saw 50 come out. But like, yes,
When I was thinking about
would
calling
I
it,
say
I will say
I
that
saw
was
him
kind
live.
of where
I wouldn't
thought.
say because I didn't stay for the whole thing.
Mhm.
But I went to the show. But I don't need that concert. Like I have better 50 concert in my own car by myself because like or like when me and Luke listen to Patiently Waiting. Like
And I'm
That's
screaming
more
the
of a-
M verse.
I'm more like into it then because like I just wasn't into the mood or concert when I was there. For like I wasn't like
Yeah, you just weren't in the
weren't
group.
able to get
Yeah.
into it.
I was like, oh, this is dope, you know, like wasn't killing people's vibes. I was like, oh, this is sweet. Like
Yeah.
but as soon as
You
that
just, like,
rain
weren't
came,
feeling
it was like,
It just dampened it.
huh, I'm soaked. And like I was not in the right clothing to like not be soaked. So like my raincoat didn't
I will say it created a lot of people falling, which was
it
funny. as
shed
fuck.
it like shedded some of the rain, but like now I know that raincoat isn't an official raincoat. Mickey Mouse one, light rains. It's good for.
Oh yeah.
Downpour, hell no.
That's funny.
But like
But yeah, 50 set. I thought it was great. He did Hustler's Ambition,
that's dope.
and I love that he did that one. When he did Many Men,
Yeah, what was that like?
That
That had to be like
that's towards the end.
yeah, last few. What did
we
he end with?
we didn't actually finish the whole set, but his encore, I guess you could
Okay.
say, before he was just kind of having fun going through some old joints, was in the club.
Hell yeah.
And that place, I even leaned over to my wife. I leaned over and I told her, I said, so you've been watching the volcano go up. Now it's about to erupt right
Boom.
here. And as soon as that beat dropped, because the way he brought it in, it was kind of like where he stripped it to where
So
all
it
you
was
heard
like
was
you couldn't-
dum, 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 thum.
So if you knew the song, you knew what was.
Oh, everybody there, as soon as they heard that first. Yeah, it was, oh my God, drinks are flying, everybody's lit. Oh shit, we're about to go crazy.
I was happy.
I thought for a minute he was about to bring out the G Unit at the end. That's why I was like, guys, can we just wait like 1 or 2 minutes? But then he just brought out Jeremiah and Busta, and they were just kind of jamming, having a good time.
He'd be throwing shade at. Fuck now. I forget who it is. One of them, but I don't think G Unit will ever be back.
I noticed when he did Hate It or Love It, he
look at the
completely
game.
skipped over all of the game's vocals.
Well, bruh, the game has now came out and said, fuck Eminem, fuck 50 Cent, blah, blah, this, fuck Dre. Like, what do you mean? We put you on. Like, granted, you were a good artist, but, like, without art, boom, 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 were you even noticed back? Like, would you have been as noticed?
No.
That's what I'm saying is, like, he bit the hand.
He was getting Dre beats under the table.
You bit the hand that fed him, and now it's like, so 50 at any of his concerts is like, what? That's like if 50 Cent brought out MGK at his concert. Like,
I knew that shit wasn't going to happen.
I would have bet more money on 50 Cent bringing Eminem out to prove that he could get a bigger pop than MGK at his own stadiums.
That would have been nuts.
That's what I had.
I didn't even think about it that way.
But that's how petty they could be. It's 50 and Eminem are petty ass people. Rightfully so, because that's how.
Eminem just popped out at a show not too long ago, too.
Ed Sheeran in Detroit.
Of all people. Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to do a cover of someone you guys all know and love, blah, blah.
Stan, right?
I think it might have been Without Me or Without. I forget which cover he did, but he started it.
I know at one point they did Stan.
And then, but then Eminem pops up like 45 seconds into the song and starts to rap it.
Like Rey Mysterio right from under the stage.
But, all right, y'all, I got to slide.
Snook ahead now.
Yep, I got to go.
Snook has pushed his chair back into the table.
Yep, to go pull out a motorcycle.
There we go. But I will be seeing you Sunday. I'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
Take it easy, good brother.
Someday.
I'll see you later tonight as well, actually.
You are correct.
Yes,
I'll let you know. I'm not sure exactly time frame, but
big bet.
I'll keep you updated.
Sounds good.
Y'all have a good time.
Thank you. But, so just to wrap up the 50 show, that was awesome time. Definitely we ended up making the best of it. Had a great show. All 3 sets were incredible. 50 bodied it. Definitely happy to say that was one that we can check off of our boxes. How did you feel about the whole show? I know you said Jeremiah was your favorite set.
Yeah, only because I was there with, like, my bestest friend since middle school. My sister, basically. And that's basically, like, oh God, we jammed Jeremiah in like senior year, prom, everything. Oh my God. So it was basically just like a huge throwback, and we were just jamming, having a blast. So that was definitely, I think, my favorite portion of the show. Yeah, I think the rain definitely put a damper on it for a little bit, but I definitely got my group back when 50 came on and like the rain subsided, and he really did put on like a really, really good show, and just like the visuals and the band too. I don't know.
Yeah, the live band with it was great.
The live band, like, I think really just truthfully made it like a very what is it called? Intimate experience almost, because you're not getting that. All right, here we go. Like, it's not that type of show. So,
where the DJ leads it. It was band driven.
It was definitely like 50 really put on a good show, and like he just really, really worked hard. And I'm happy that I get to now say like I saw 50 on his lap,
because we don't really know if this is going to happen again. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's his final lap tour. Who knows if he'll keep it going? But I don't know. He doesn't.
I saw that he mentioned in Brooklyn the other night. He said that right now he's just kind of enjoying, being on tour with his buddies and enjoying it all. And he said as the dates get closer to coming to an end, he said that's when it's really going to set in. Like, damn, fuck, we had one great, which he's going on a crazy run right now. I mean, depending on where you're at, he's performing all the way up to like halfway through December. And he's going like every night or every other night. So, I mean, he's definitely on a crazy final lap right now. He wants to make sure he's hitting everywhere. I know in like halfway through November, that's when he does his overseas run. But that'll be fun to see, just how he keeps killing it on these shows and smashing records. And I find it really unique that all these new artists like, Baby and Moneybagg, which love all those guys, but they're canceling tours because they can't sell tickets. And 50 Cent's selling out shows with an album that came out 20 years ago. Like, that doesn't... And that leads me to my next thing. We keep bringing up the number 50. It's Pull Up a Chair episode 50. It's 50 Cent show. So that leads me to a big birthday shout out that I have to give to a special thing to a lot of our lives. Should be all, but to a lot of our lives. And that would be happy 50th birthday, hip hop. 50 years ago, let me go make sure I don't botch it. I should know this off the top of my head, but I wouldn't let myself botch it, so I got to make sure I say it right. But 50 years ago today, there was a certain record made by DJ Kool Herc's Back to School Party that marked the start of it all. It was at 1520 Sidewalk Avenue in the Rec Room, August 11th, 1973. It ran from 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. Admission was ladies get in 25 cents, fellas get in for 50. It was DJ sesh by DJ Kool Herc, and it was Schools Out. 50 years ago today, my oh my hip hop, look at how far you have managed to go. Happy 50 years to hip hop. To just give a quick little summary. Speaking of 50 Cent, 20 years ago, roughly somewhere in there, I was shown for the first time ever, and at least to what I recall as my first hip-hop memory, was sitting in my buddy's couch as he was going on LimeWire downloading music. And he would click play on the different songs to make sure that he was, getting the right ones. And one of the songs that he had on his computer that he wanted to show me was a certain record called In the Club. And the moment I heard that, I don't think my life has ever been the same since, and I wouldn't change it any other way. I listen to a ton of different music, but the one genre, the one culture that I seem to resonate with the most, that I seem to find my home in, would be hip-hop. And I am forever grateful for it, and I'm forever thankful for those of you that allow me to have a voice in this amazing, beautiful, wonderful work of art and culture and movement. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it, and happy birthday to hip-hop. So we're going to center this episode around a lot of different hip-hop showcase and a lot of hip-hop talk. So to get right into it, we're going to dive right into music. And Wifey's going to, I'm sure, have a very fun answer to share here. But somebody asked it on Twitter, and I said, I'll probably forget a couple albums, but I want to dive right into it and have some fun and showcase some great music anyways. Somebody said, what is the best hip-hop album of all time? And I can't believe they worded it like this, but they said simple question, because it's definitely not. What if you would say any, you can name me one, you can name me three, just don't go over five, no particular order. What would be your favorite hip hop albums of all time? I'll lead. I'd say number one, a lot of you aren't going to like this answer, and I don't like that I have to say it myself. Again, no particular order, but number one, I would say My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Kanye West. Number two, I would say Good Kid, Mad City, Kendrick Lamar. Number three, I would say Ready to Die, Notorious B.I.G., the great Biggie Smalls himself. Number four, I would say The Black Album, Jay-Z. Number five, I would say the man that we just talked about seeing, Get Rich or Die Trying, 50 Cent. What would yours be? You don't have to give me five. You can give me one. You can give me two. You can give me three. When you think hip-hop albums that mean the most to you, what would you say? One's just even, maybe not even has to be a favorite, just, or maybe not a best, but a favorite, one that comes to your mind, one that, an album of hip-hop that you feel like you've always found yourself going back to, even if it's just a record.
The one with, is that Encore by Eminem? Or what is that one without me?
Without You, the Eminem Show.
Yeah.
The Eminem Show.
I like that one.
So you'd reference the Eminem Show as either the best or your favorite, so to speak?
I would say my favorite. I wouldn't say the best because I don't listen to hip-hop like that. Country's my genre. So
for favorite, I would say Watching Movies with the Sound Off, the great Mac Miller.
I have to go with my favorite albums because I really don't know what's better than others because I just don't listen to hip-hop like that. But that would be a good one.
Now you got me thinking of favorites as you're thinking. Well, a favorite of mine, Watching Movies with the Sound Off.
Is Post hip-hop or is he pop?
We can count Post. What do you want to count? Stoney?
Yeah.
All right. Post Malone, Stoney. See, I knew you'd have some unique picks. If we're talking favorites.
Jack
Harlow, which one?
The one that I liked a couple years ago.
The one with Sundown?
Yeah, with the incense. With that one.
With incense.
Yeah, like,
I'll look it up.
I got it.
You'll find it?
Yeah.
So a Jack Harlow album, that's going to stir a lot of people up.
Yeah, well, I like Jack Harlow a lot, guys, so. What is this one? Sweet Action from 2020.
Sweet Action
and
from
Confetti.
2020.
Those two can be lumped together. But
And
those two are
Confetti?
really good. Oh my God! I cannot forget about Lil Pump. Let me just go crazy with that one.
Lil Pump.
Lil Pump,
Okay.
I went on a huge Lil Pump kick.
The debut album, the one with Walk in the Chat Like a Boss.
Yeah.
Okay. Not bad. All right. Lil Pump. Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang.
Oh wait,
There
and
we go.
we can lump these two together. I like
Lumping two
graduation
different
or
ones.
graduation, Harvard dropout one too.
Wait,
Lil
college?
Lil Pump.
Oh, Harvard dropout.
Harvard.
Oh my God, I thought you were saying college.
No, I almost did.
I thought you were saying college
No.
dropout and graduation. I'm like,
Absolutely not.
I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, all right. You're talking about Harvard.
Harvard.
I love this. I did not expect you to say that at all. That was perfect. If we're talking favorites, I would say watching movies with the sound off.
Oh my God, Lil Wayne. Everything about Lil Wayne.
Okay, the Carter 3. I was waiting for you to say that. It'd be the Carter 3, right? Got Money,
Literally
Lollipop.
all of them.
How about, there's a name that you're leaving out of here, and I just want to make sure that you're not forgetting. Nikki?
Oh my God. See, I don't think. I think that I'd like.
Roman Reloaded, wasn't that? Or Pink Friday.
Pink Friday.
Pink Friday was the big one.
Pink Friday is one of my favorites.
Had a ton of hits on it. Yeah, to showcase some favorites then real quick, I'll go watching movies with the sound off, Mac Miller. You're having fun. I'm going to have some fun too. Magna Carta, Holy Grail, Jay-Z. Criminally underrated, criminally overhated. I absolutely love that Jay-Z album. I feel like that was super slept on. Loved every record on it. Loved Magna Carta. Mentioned that album. Oxymoron, Schoolboy Q. That was my that was like a big part of my senior year. That was like Man of the Year, Studio, Collard Greens. Loved Oxymoron. To throw it back to the old era, I mean, again, we got to celebrate some different eras here. We got to say R.I.P. the good brother Doom, MF Doom. Love all the music that he put out. Operation Doomsday, I would put up there. Same thing with Mad Villainy. Absolutely great. Enter the 36 Chambers, Wu-Tang Clan. Got to do NWA's debut album. Obviously, Biggie, Ready to Die. Mention that again. Life After Death. A lot of different I mean, oh wow. I mean, I know I could go even farther back. You can talk about the Grandmaster Flash. You can talk about early work that oh God. I mean, dating all the way back to even Run DMC, and then finally when they were able to link with Aerosmith, iconic moment right there for Hip Hop 50. But mentioning other albums that come to mind, I got to give Marshall Mathers LP1, Eminem, always give that some big time credit. Kanye growing up, College Dropout, right into Late Registration, right into Graduation. I mean, of course, that Kanye run's incredible. How about Chief Keef, Finally Rich? What Love Sosa and Hate Being Sober. That started a whole generation. Same thing with T.I. versus T.I.P. I like my beat down low, down low, down low. That was always one of the first ones I heard. God damn it, Chameleonaire riding. Headland Staple, HLD Staple. But yeah, just so many amazing hip hop records I could talk about. I mean, To Pimp a Butterfly, Kendrick Lamar. I think personally that might be one of the best too. Hard to beat that. I just had to give Good Kid the nudge just because of its success and how I feel like that one kind of favors and leans more into replay value. But, you know, happy birthday, hip hop. I've listened to all these albums over the years, and I will always continue to and grow with the genre and hopefully grow within the culture as one, too. Happy to hear the ones that you shared. Allowed me to kind of have some fun, say some different hip hop albums. Love a lot of the new shit that came out this year. Biggest standout for this year's hip hop would be Jay Skeese, Abolished Uncertainties. Excited to get a good sit down conversation in with him, or stand up, depending on how we're going to end up doing it. But that's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. We're celebrating Hip Hop 50 this whole year. But today I'm glad that we got to go live on its official birthday and give it its birthday flowers. Which brings me into the next thing that I wanted to mention. New music reviews. However, I know most of the new music this week doesn't really center around much hip-hop. I only made it through about halfway of the new Reason album, Porches, today. But so far, I really like Gina, a.k.a. it's called August Alsina. A lot of different good records on there, though. I know I like the one with Sir. I believe that's track 4. It's called A Broken Winter Break. I like the Baby Tate feature on number 9. That was cool. I see he's got Ray Vaughn on 12. He's got Doechii on 14, which that'll be cool. And it looks like a couple different other features I'm excited to hear. Reason's been killing it. I love his feature on Sobering Thoughts from the Mondrian on the Rory album. But yeah, so Reason dropped today. Excited to give that more of a look. Another great hip-hop album that dropped today that I've been pumped for her to drop for a while now, quite some time. One of the best female rappers in the game currently. Some people could argue the best. No Name dropped Sundial. And I unfortunately haven't made it through all of Sundial either. But from what I have heard, I love Balloons with Jay Electronica. I love Boom Boom with Aoni. And I love Beauty Supply, which was actually the last one I left off on. So I still have 8, 9, 10, and 11 to finish. I see 11 has Common on it, so I'm excited to finish that. But yeah, new No Name. Love seeing new No Name. Love seeing new Reason. Another great, very criminally rated, underrated rapper that dropped today. However, he just doesn't drop that often. Is King Los. Dropped a new single called "Do It For Me," and ironically, it doesn't quite do it for me. But at the same time, I'm happy to see King Los back dropping music, dropping singles. So hopefully we can get something new from him again soon as well. Emotional Oranges dropped their album, which now pivots a little bit more into the R&B, which was still emo. A lot of their records on this, though, already came out, like Wrong Hands and Justified and Not Like This. However, though, I do love Olympics with Ayana, and I did like number 7, Lies You Tell, as well already. Shout out Emotional Oranges. Love that group. They're definitely got a different kind of funk sound going to them with a little bit of poppy bop. And I really like to see where they're going. And plus, I know that Rory's been supervising and managing and looking closely with that group. So I'm always rooting for them. And they've been putting out great music. However, the highly recommendation of this week, the album that stuck out to me the most, I've added every song on it. This would be the capital H-I-G-H Lee recommend of the week. Is But If I'm Honest by Raheem, which is an R&B soul album. I actually already sent that to the chat, sent that to Kuzi. He said that he checked it out today at work, and then he said that he liked it a lot as well, so he can put his stamp on it. Of course, I'll end up showing you some of it. But I first heard of Raheem, actually. I got hip only a couple months ago. Seen the name before. I didn't really know too much for what he was. Like, I didn't know too much of his music, if not any. And I heard him on Rory's album, once again, with Chantel May on Not Me. And immediately his voice got me. I was like, I got to listen to more of this dude's music. And I just see now that he put out, the album today, which I've been hyped now for a couple months once I got hip to his catalog. The album's called But If I'm Honest. No features. A couple singles already came out, but my standout joints on it that I would say to look into first would be number 4, Friend Zone. Number 6, Energy, and number 9, 1,000 Lives. Those are the 3 that jump out to me the most. He already had the single out, Famous, Lost to LA, which I know is kind of like the hit on the album right now. But no, I'm definitely going to keep that one in rotation. That one might even be coming up at the end of the year during Sleepless Awards. Right off rip, I say my highly recommendation of the weekend would be But If I'm Honest by Raheem. Then the last album I wanted to mention to you before we talk singles, he said he's not pushing it back anymore. He wasn't afraid of Drake. Drake didn't drop. So it's a good thing that he wasn't. Trippie Redd dropped A Love Letter to You 5, into which I haven't heard all of it yet. I'm not going to lie, I'm guilty. I kind of did the skip around and kind of cherry picked on the features. But I have 4 added already. Number 10 with Lil Wayne, I'm Mad at Me. Amazing. That beat is incredible. Wayne's verse is nuts. Trippie slides on it. Love that record. Closed Doors with Roddy Ricch seems to be the hit on it so far. Love that record as well. Loved how they mentioned Perks in the hook. You're always going to get me when you talk Perks. Left for Dead was the single that came out last week. I did like that a lot. And I Took My Breath Away with Sky Morales. So far, those are the 4 that I have added. Stay tuned for a little Trippie Redd announcement maybe during this week. Maybe it's the battle next week. I don't know. But Trippie Redd, A Love Letter to You 5 just came out today. I know that seems to be the big album release of the weekend. Hopefully he does well. Canton Zone, Cleveland Zone. Don't be fooled by the New York shit. I'm always rooting for my Clevelanders first. So very happy to see, though, that he didn't panic. he didn't budge again, and he dropped. And so far, it seems like it's been a really good album. It's being received really well, too, by the fans. So excited to see how a lot of those records and sales numbers pan out for old Trippie. I love Trippie Redd. Now, on that note, let's see what singles came out this week and make sure I didn't miss any albums that should be mentioned as well. Neil Young dropped. Kelsey Ballerini dropped. Are you into Kelsey Ballerini? And it looks like, besides that, not too much album-wise dropped. Rob 49 dropped his deluxe. I know he's an XXL freshman this year. I see a Birdman feature on there. That's interesting. Icewear Vizo. Okay, Real Boston Richie. Trippie Redd. A DaBaby feature. That's going to be interesting. Hopefully that goes over well for him. But yeah, so Rob 49 dropped. I don't know if you guys want to check out the new XXL guy. Then let's see best new songs, singles. We got, DJ Khaled, Lil Baby, and Future. So, and Lil Uzi's actually on it. So DJ Khaled dropped his first single for his new album. You know him, he assembles the Avengers on it. Supposed to Be Loved, which I'll end up showing you. I don't know if I was supposed to love this record, though. Couldn't really get into it. No, I think that when they end up putting it on the radio, which I'm sure it'll be on the radio, I really just don't see how it's going to pan out. Like, Lil Baby and Future singing the hook at the same time in two different ways. Okay, it's kind of cool. But, like, I feel like all of those names, like, and then you see Khaled's, like, you're just expecting, like, this crazy beat at this point to come in. And I feel like he tried to create more of, like, you have a campfire on the beach. That kind of vibe, where it's like, usually Khaled, you want to hear the club. This time I feel like you tried to do some like island shit, and he didn't really grab the three people that you should to make island shit. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, like you just grabbed three club guys and told them make a beach record. Like that's kind of like the vibe I got from it. This record though I did not hear. Olivia Rodrigo dropped another new single that I'm sure will go nuts. It's called Bad Idea, right? I doubt it, but have you heard anything, a snippet, TikTok yet, anything? So I've been seeing a couple different people saying on Twitter that like Chart Dad already said it's number one for like just overall singles on iTunes already this weekend. So like the thing that I find interesting with that I just wanted to mention, because again, I haven't heard the record, but I at least wanted to mention something about it because I can see it's going crazy with the numbers. With Olivia, it was like, I kind of thought that like she had that TikTok fan base that the last thing they would ever do is buy the music. The last thing they would ever do is buy the music.
What? You're high.
Really?
Yeah.
You're telling me that.
How do you think? What do you?
Those. So you're telling me, okay, that TikTok records like that blow, they usually generate people wanting to actually go out and buy some sort of a physical or digital copy of the music.
I'm not saying that, but she has more of a following than just TikTok.
Well, yeah, I'm not trying to just sum that all up. I just mean like her crowd, her fan base, her audience in general, her whole audience. I wouldn't expect that audience to be buying singles on iTunes. I would think that'd be fair to say, really.
I think you're very underestimating her demographic, who she's going towards.
What would be the average age of the Olivia Rodrigo fan?
I'd say about maybe 14 to fucking the moon. There's fucking 30, 40-year-olds on, posting videos, listening to that song, reminding them back to when they were 16, getting their license, falling in love. I would say 13, 14's probably where she starts to actually resonate with some, girls, boys.
So do you think the
14? And they're, maybe not. I would think that the 13, 14s are going to be like, Mom, I want an iTunes card, or Mom, can I buy this, so I can listen to this on my phone? I don't know what the fucking kids listen to shit.
I hope that's the case. I love that.
I would think that would be more than, because you got to think a lot of these young kids don't have, maybe their parents aren't turning their phones onto data. Maybe they only can use it on Wi-Fi. So they have to, if they want to listen to that song outside of Wi-Fi, they have to buy that song, download that song.
And see, I love that. I really hope that is the case.
I think that that's what's going on.
Yeah, I hope I'm wrong. I was shocked that I'm like, because like normally, like, you know, you'll see Lil Baby got 200,000 streams, and then the pure sales was like 4K. And then it's like, oh, Olivia's going number one on iTunes. Like, oh,
Or,
shit,
I mean, I
like,
don't know. Maybe it's fucking older. Maybe it's the 20-year-olds that are, I need to buy this song so that, you know, maybe I don't want to use my data.
I think my thing that I'm getting at is I'm happy to see Olivia Rodrigo actually build a real, genuine connection
And
with the
that's what it
supporters.
is, yeah.
Like you can tell when you see pure sale numbers, that's, oh, I support this person. I believe
And this
in
is
this
also
person.
after her documentary aired.
That's true too.
So people could have resonated with her more and now are more inclined
And
to
I think a lot of people, maybe even me included, I'll be honest, maybe even me included, when we heard the driver's license and all that, we kind of maybe got that vibe of, here's another flash in the pan. And then it's like Lil Nas. I think it's safe to say by now, Lil Nas was a flash in the pan.
Remember, Olivia also plays in Disney. Like, she has roles in Disney shows and movies all the time.
Forget about that. Forgot about that.
I mean, I don't know about anymore, but she used to. I should say that. Don't quote me on that. But she used to do a lot in Disney. That's where she got her come up.
I will hot take it, though, and just say, even before I've heard this record, because I am rooting for Olivia, that I think Olivia Rodrigo is on a great path. I think the music's there. And I think she's everything that Ariana Grande, if she could go back, wishes she would have been. I'm sorry, Ariana. All you've made is bullshit. Sorry.
I'd say, yeah.
I get to be in my bag sometimes, too.
I'd say, yeah. I don't like
You
Ariana
made
Grande.
7 rings 70 times. I'm cool on it.
I mean, I don't like Ariana Grande, but you know what I mean? But I don't listen to her stuff. I literally have no interest in her stuff. Her stuff does nothing for me. So I do think Olivia is significantly better than Ariana.
Voice, too. Voice, songwriting.
And songwriting, 100%. And honestly, a better fucking actress, because let's just face it, Ariana Grande cannot act her fucking to save her life, okay?
No, the only time that Ariana Grande has good acting skills is when she's around her next boyfriend's girlfriend. Yep. That's the only time Ariana Grande can go Meryl Streep, is when it comes time to, oh, hold on, Dalton Gomez, let's get these double dates in. Bam. Fucking just sits right there like
She's
a fucking...
home wrecker.
She's Queen Cobra.
She's a hoe.
Anytime you see Ariana Grande, I'm just expecting to see like a hood start coming out of her fucking shirt. And it's like, oh, God. You're like, there she is, a fucking snake. Olivia Rodrigo made me think of that. But shout out Olivia Rodrigo. French Montana dropped Good Summer, no comment. I love French Montana. Don't listen to it. Closed Doors. I see that was a big single. That's from Trippie's album. Gucci Mane dropped a new single, Now It's Real. I have not heard that. Miguel, happy to see Miguel back out. He dropped a new record featuring Lil Yachty called Number 9. I heard it. I'm going to say no comment again because I love Miguel, but go listen to it and maybe you'll dig it. Maybe see what you think. And I'll actually say the same thing about French. I love French. Go check it out. Maybe you guys will like it. I did not add it, though. ESTG, I think he either dropped a new album or maybe just the single. Either way, I have not heard that yet. So I will report back on that next week once I see what maybe caught my eye from this week. Oh, I'm happy to see Raheem got a hot track new single. Same thing with Reason. However, though, it looks like that does do it as far as new music goes. So just wanted to say that Raheem's But If I'm Honest is the album that I say to highly recommend and check out for this week. And, of course, No Name. And all the other ways you're going to celebrate Hip Hop 50 and listen to all the great new music and music of old and all the timeless joints that came out along the way that shaped us as who we are as people. The other thing that I wanted to mention, then we get to get into the juicy shit of music real quick, get into the juicy gossip. Just to get this one out of the way before we talk about who actually got sentenced. Did you see who got arrested yesterday? For those that don't know, 6ix9ine was supposed to appear in court, and he failed to do so in Florida. So he got arrested. 6ix9ine got locked up. I don't know if he's already out. I don't know how his freed situation works, but I did see he got arrested, and I did just want to mention it. However, we're going to mention this Napoleon bum's name one last time. Then we're never going to speak of this loser again. The corn cob king himself got sentenced to 10 years, Mr. losing all of his hair and crying to his hair doctor now. Tory bum-ass Lanez got 10 years in prison. Round of applause for that. The one time we actually say justice was served and you can go ahead and keep his dumb ass. So, like I said, last time I'll mention it. Tory Lanez got 10 years. The memes coming out about that are hilarious. My favorite was the one, I hope you guys have all seen it, is the one with the Family Guy excerpt where it's people getting their mugshots taken. And it's like this little kid walks up and has to jump up to take his mugshot. And somebody said that was Tory Lanez taking his mugshot. I love seeing all the memes that have came out about it. I hope, though, that after this week, the memes can stop so then we can just let his name just die out and forget about it and let him fall into the abyss. So fucking crazy, though, that, like, there's still people on the internet defending this clown. And I realized what it was, and I finally think I can answer it. To all those people, let me make your Twitter threads and all your X threads or whatever the fuck it is now. Let me just sum it all up for you so you can get it all out in one sentence and just make it real easy and quick and right to the point. Don't even mention Tory Lanez's name. Just go ahead and let everybody know you hate women. Just go ahead. That's how quick that is. Just go ahead. I see all the beating around the bush. Well, you don't really care about the case. You want to hear the new Tory Lanez record for some reason, because the dude always sounded like a sugar-free Drake to me anyways. And then you want to hate on Meg, successful woman in the industry and the culture. Let's bring her down, because that's what we like to do for whatever fucking reason. However, though, it didn't work for old Tory Lanez, and it certainly ain't going to work with all you little Twitter fingery bums that want to try to play Twitter attorney or ex-attorney, whatever. And because I don't think I can say Twitter anymore. I think they've ruined that for me. I think I have to say X now. It's going to take a while to get used to. Fuck you, Elon. But, yeah, so Tory Lanez gets 10 years. Some people said maybe it's too much time. Who cares? I'm just happy to see that justice was served and we can finally put a conviction to this shit. I remember when the story first came out, and this is to all those Tory Lanez supporters as well. I don't care if I'm riling you up. I'm in my bag today. Hip Hop 50, baby. When that thing first came out, remember what I first said? I always say, look at the case, look at the whole thing. You're telling me that Meg, in the peak of her career, decided on one night after a Kylie Jenner party with Napoleon driving that we're going to conjure up this huge story to try to get Tory Lanez behind bars and locked up. And that's our mission.
I mean, like, what do you gain?
Who gains from that?
What's the motive? Why would you do that? You wouldn't.
Never saw that from point one. Plus, I can take one look at some people, and Tory Lanez is one of them, and go, I know a dirtbag when I see one. Been around a slew of them over my years. That's a dirtbag right there. And I love his thing where he said, this one killed me earlier this week. This was the day before the conviction. This one killed me. He actually said, and I'm kind of paraphrasing here a little bit, but this is pretty much exactly what he said. Correct me if I'm wrong. He said that he claims he's innocent. He claimed he was innocent. No way, shape, or form was that me. Did I do that? No way. But if I am guilty, it's only because I'm an alcoholic with a bunch of childhood trauma that just never got treated. If I am guilty. But I'm not, though, because I'm innocent. The moment he said that shit, I hope the attorney just hit him a real quick text message and said, hey, just want to let you know, the payment came through. Thank you. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. I've never heard somebody in such a big profile case go, hey, I'm innocent, but if I am guilty, this is why. Because that just makes me think like, okay, what if they were like, innocent? It's like, well, aren't you still an alcoholic with childhood trauma? No, remember I was innocent. I said if I wasn't guilty. Like, I don't think, that's why I think the people on Twitter that, like, they want to talk about, well, look at the evidence. Don't even look at the evidence. Look at what these people are saying. Like,
What?
like how can, like, you got to be able to have that meter where you can gauge what is this person, like, What am I
Why
putting
would his
faith
lawyer
into
let
here?
him say that?
He knew that would be that lost. I saw documents leaked of what he sent something to academics. He put that
Honestly,
Kelsey girl up to the phone call.
Honestly, I think lawyers are a fucking sham. Honestly, they're just fucking overpaid to just do dumb shit.
He got the easiest bag of all time.
I mean, come the fuck on. I mean, $300 an hour for what? For what?
Hey, either way, Tory Lanez attorney did the Lord's work. He didn't try to fight that bitch too much. He said, fuck it, we ball, just send the payment through. Which a lot of people don't realize that's what it is. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, his attorney's got to be kicking himself. No, he's not. He's preparing for the next case. That's all he's doing. He's preparing for the next case, whatever that next one was on his desk. He slept like a baby when Tory Lanez got that 10 years.
Do not care.
He saw that wire come through and he slept like a baby.
They get their fucking money and they don't care what happens. Sit in jail or not, like, good guy, bad guy. I'm not even like.
He went home and talked about it at the dinner table with his family for 5 minutes.
Tory Lanez lawyer.
Just getting
I'm
aid.
not talking about that specifically. I'm talking about the grand scheme of lawyers in general. Like, most of them, not all of them, most of them, because you always have your good seeds. But your bad seed ones literally just don't give a rat's ass if you win, lose, if you're right or wrong. Like,
and one of the, this is all law school 101 shit for me from once upon a time, 40 and how many ever years ago it feels like now. But you actually, one of the crucial things that they tell you in like doing that shit is you have to be emotionless, no matter on what side you're on.
Oh, 100%.
You can't really put like emotion into it.
Oh yeah, because then it's gonna, affect how you work. I get it, but it's like you also have to have some sort of compassion.
What's crazy is the ones that do the best are usually the ones that do it from an emotional standpoint.
And exactly, and I can say that about literally almost any fucking profession that you're trying to help. So like medical, fire, police, like literally anything in those, attorneys, judge, like literally anything in that sort of category where you have to. Yes, you can't let your emotions get in the way. I get it, but you also have to be a fucking human being and understand that those are also human beings.
The ones that are usually stone cold are the ones that defend the criminals.
Which that's good. They need to. The ones who are actually bad and yes, awesome. But I'm like your domestic cases that are going on like literally all of the time. Those judges and magistrates and attorneys, like, they literally do not care. They only want your money. They don't give a fuck with the well-being of whatever the case is. It is dumb.
Oh, yeah, no.
It is dumb.
Not at all. Not one bit. Yeah, that Tory Lanez thing, though, like I said, the last time I feel like we should mention his name. I'm a big fan of that. The best way to kill off a name, don't talk about it. Never bring him up. Eventually, you don't even think about it. I know, I will mention this. I don't want to, I know there's, just in case there's somebody that's going, damn him for going in on my guy. First off, there's much better music out there than Tory Lanez. Yes, at one point, I'll be honest. Did he have some good shit? Sure. Okay. Let's bite on it. Okay. Fine. He had some good records. Was Chicks Tapes a very popular mixtape series? Yes. Yes, it was. Could it be called a classic? Maybe. Sure. I'll bite. Call the series a classic. Now, here's also what I'm going to say. Let it go. Let it go. Like, all that, like, yeah, he had some music. I see people on Twitter, though, oh, it's classic this and he did not have classics like that. Stop. He was Diet Drake. He was Sugar-Free Weekend, blended together, and we're cool on it. He got into that back and forth of Royce to 5'9". Okay, he can rap kind of well. We're not going to lose sleep over no more Tory Lanez music, and I really hope you guys don't either. There's plenty of other great music out there, plenty of other great artists that deserve to be showcased. They are genuine, good human beings that deserve, I feel like, to at least be listened to and looked at. We don't need to be giving our streams and our time and money to Tory Lanez, who never cared about any of us in the first fucking place. And don't let those half-assed apologies that were thrown together by a PR team fool you on that shit either. The dude was a bum. The dude was guilty. He's still trying to claim innocent and making Megan Thee Stallion's life much more harder. And I will never support that. I don't support clown-ass activity. I don't support cornball shit. I don't support Tory Lanez. Last time I'll ever mention Tory Lanez's name is how I just said it right there. So on that note, we are happy to see him get 10 years. Justice was served, and hope and pray and sending good love to Megan Thee Stallion that her and all of her loved ones, family, and supporters can get through it and have a great bounce back, and hopefully we can forget all about Napoleon. So last thing I wanted to mention, though, music before we pivot off, talk about a couple other topics, which I only have a couple things for, but obviously I want music to showcase this week, it being Hip Hop 50 and all. So let's talk about the diss track that came out this week. For those of you that don't know, there's been an ongoing little back and forth with just a couple of words, nothing on record quite yet until Eminem kicked it into fire last week. So let me make sure Wifey knows. Let me make sure a lot of you also know as well. Melly Mel, a prominent name in the culture, has been for years. We've never denied Melly Mel of his talents before. I'm about to say what I'm going to say, too, as well. I don't think anybody went into the Melly Mel diss thinking like, oh, boy, this about to be some trash. However, unfortunately, that's what happened. Melly Mel dropped the diss to Eminem, which was a response for when M started in Easy last week, which was that record that he did, which I forget the gentleman's name. I believe it was Easy. And he went in on Melly Mel saying, you know, now we got Melly Mel on roids. And I believe he said something else about him as well. Well, Melly Mel had enough. Melly Mel thought it would be a good idea. He wants to respond to Eminem. And he dropped the diss track. I ain't even going to hold you. That's probably one of the worst diss tracks, if not the worst diss track I've ever heard. As far as diss tracks go, I don't know what you thought was the worst. That might have just took the cake. It was actually so bad that Melly Mel forgot, and at one point actually referred to Eminem as Matthew Mathers. Referred to him as his first name being Matthew. Can't make this shit up. Simulation. So as I was filling him in, Melly Mel dropped what I believe is maybe the worst diss track of all time. Like, quite possibly the worst diss track of all time. Yeah, no. I don't know who the first one was, who anybody would have had as number one. I know Meek Mill was pretty bad, but yeah, Melly Mel dropped the diss. Absolutely terrible. There's not much to say on it other than that was probably the worst diss track of all time. I really wish Melly Mel just would have kept that one in the vault. The fact that he wanted to come at M like that, especially over such like a silly line, it really didn't require a Melly Mel response. I saw that I don't think it's got one single fan. I see it's getting memed to Kingdom Come on X. Let me try to get used to saying that. But yeah, I've just been seeing that it's been just overall just a terrible week for Melly Mel. What a thing to have to witness too on the birthday week of Hip Hop 50. Melly Mel just dropped like literally the worst diss track of all time. I hate to repeat myself too much, but it's just unbelievable that he actually thought that warranted a response just from that roids line. I mean, unless I missed something, I really think he just kind of jumped over the ledge on that one. I really don't think he needed to do all that. But so that was it on music that I wanted to mention of this week. Melly Mel, unfortunately, we just hope that however you choose to bounce back from this, I don't think M's going to respond to it. God, I really don't think he should. I really don't see that happening. So just to pivot on then to a different topic, something that I also wanted to mention with while we're still talking about Hip Hop 50 and celebrating Hip Hop's beautiful 50th. What would be some of your favorite movies? I'll ask you. And I guess I can start. What would be some of your favorite movies that you feel like that you've watched over the years? I kind of think I know what you're going to say. This goes for all of you as well. Please let me know. What are some of your favorite hip hop like movies that kind of, you know, showcase hip hop, or you feel like really kind of give you know, some light onto maybe not even just the genre, but just the overall culture. Like it doesn't have to just be like 8 Mile or something like that. Use that for example. But what movie would you say most symbolizes hip hop? Like what movie for you when you look back on it was like, wow. Straight Outta Compton, great one. You gonna sit down? Straight Outta Compton's a great one. I think that shows a lot of early history with it too. So I think Straight Outta Compton's definitely a great one.
I like that 50 movie we just watched.
Get Rich or Die Trying. Love Get Rich or Die Trying.
Those are the only two that like I like a lot.
Well, how about 8 Mile?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
See, I
why I
don't
use
think
that
about
as an
that
example.
Like yeah.
You don't look at that as like a hip hop movie, really?
I mean, like I do, but I also think about it as like just like M's story. Like when I think of like Straight Outta Compton. It's
But
like,
see,
yes,
that's what I
it's
mean,
very,
though.
like,
It's surrounded by that culture, though. Like somebody that's never ever been to 8 Mile Detroit can watch 8 Mile and go, "Oh, okay, that's kind of the culture there at the time." Okay, it was shelter, it was underground rap battles, underground DJing on weekends,
yeah, okay,
and
I see what you're saying.
the parties at the shelter type thing, you know,
Okay,
like,
I see where you're.
and the clothes that they wear. Oh, this dude's got a beanie and baggy sweats on with the oversized, you know, like that kind of shit. Like,
okay, I can see that. Yeah, I guess if you're looking like super deep into it, but
like in Richard I Tried, it does the same thing. You're like, oh, okay, this is the Bronx. Like, okay, this is, you know, this is 50s. Like, this is the culture of New York as opposed to Detroit. And then, like you said, you could watch Straight Outta Compton and be like, oh, okay, so here it's different. It's bandana. It's, oh, okay, you know, like.
See, I'm thinking more of like what it did, like for music and hip hop, not like the culture around it. I guess maybe I just.
You're looking at it more from the records, like who did it?
Like not like who did it, like where is this going? Like, okay, well you got, you know, Eazy-E and stuff. Okay, they brought that type of hip hop style, which then pivoted into, you know, so and so, which then, because that's how I was thinking of like the timeline of hip hop, not like the culture and the upbringing that way. I guess is the way I was looking at it when I was.
Yeah, like. I mean, obviously, I'm looking at them over there. I got a lot on DVD. 8 Mile, big one for me. That was probably my first. Get Rich or Die Trying, 50 Cent. That was right up there, too. Got to do Notorious, the Biggie movie. Absolutely love Notorious. Got to do that one. The Pac movie, unfortunately, All Eyes on Me turned out to be bullshit. But still, at least it got to give people at least somewhat of a story of Pac. Straight Outta Compton, great pick again. Want to make sure I'm not missing any. The Defiant Ones was an HBO documentary that I have with Jimmy Iovine, Dr. Dre. They're like the main focus points, but it also kind of shows not only how they came to merge, but kind of the history of how Russell Simmons played a part, Rick Rubin played a part. Obviously, Dr. Dre, NWA, all them played a huge part early on. A lot of great movies, though, in general, that just showcase hip-hop. Like, one that doesn't necessarily surround, like, an artist would be dope. The one with A$AP Rocky and Tyga and that. Thought that movie was great. Thought that really showcased. And, of course, there's just a ton of movies that I'm sure I'm overlooking. I mean, of course, you got to go with Juice, Tupac, where he played Bishop. That was an absolutely great movie. Boys in the Hood. Ricky got the ticket. You got to mention Boys in the Hood. What would be... I already mentioned one more. Come on, I can do one more. Hustle and Flow, from the mid-2000s, like 2005. I don't know if you ever saw that movie. It's hard out here for a pimp. No? I actually did that not too bad. But, yeah, thought that was a great movie. I think 3-6 actually executively produced, if I'm not mistaken, that soundtrack. So shout out Hustle and Flow. But just wanted to, before we dive into just a couple things I wanted to mention as far as movies go, just wanted to mention our favorite movies that, you know, just showcase hip-hop. Let us know some of your favorites as well. Would love to hear them. The other couple things I wanted to mention for TV and movies. We watched this earlier this week, and I know it's kind of been the Netflix thing people are talking about. What'd you think of the Manziel doc?
That's good.
Johnny Manziel dropped an Untold documentary kind of about his life pre-NFL, getting into the NFL, and then during the NFL and post-NFL. You know, what a fucking journey that man went on. You know, it was like one of those things for years. We were kind of like, oh, the Johnny Manziel experiment. Like, oh, if only it could have worked. If only it could have worked. And then when you watch The Untold, he kind of almost says it himself, like, it never was going to work. Like, the moment he came into the NFL, all the camaraderie was lost. He was the big partier. He was the big drinker. At the time, nobody on the Browns wanted to do that, which I don't know why. Of all teams to not want to drink, we're not going to win the fucking game anyways. We might as well just, you know, booze whether we win or lose. Like, I don't know. Kind of thought that was weird. I know he kind of went in on the city of Cleveland Wasn't really a big fan of that. Could have done without that. But always kind of loved Manny Manziel. Kind of thought he was fun while he was in the league. At the very least, he was entertaining. Slamming playbooks up against his face. Hammered, fucking hungover on the sidelines. But overall, though, I thought it was a really good documentary. Definitely recommend checking it out, especially if you'd like to see one of the craziest sports tales of anybody in the modern era that I've ever seen. And the last movie that I wanted to mention, I just watched it last night. I know it's from 2010 or 2011, but I believe I just watched it it was on Prime Video. So for those of you that have Prime Video, my highly recommended movie of the week, my highly recommendation would be to check out a movie called Frozen. And no, not the one with Anna and Elsa. It's this, briefly summarize it. It's this one with these two guys. The one brings his girlfriend. Long story short, they end up getting trapped on a ski lift. Starts off pretty quick. Crazy shit happens. But I recommend checking that one out. That's on Prime Video. Like I said, it's not new. It's been out some time. Definitely think you should check it out, though. I mean, it's what I liked from during the week, at least. And let me know what you guys want me to check out, as always, as well, in case I missed something. Or if it's just something from years ago that you want to see if I've watched it or if I haven't. So that leads us to our next two, which, again, we don't have very much. Would you like to talk sports or would you like to talk pro wrestling? All right, we'll talk sports and get sports out of the way. So my Niners my head coach of the Niners, Kyle Shanahan, ended up saying earlier this week, I'm not quite sure where he said it, but I did see the clip from what he said. So if the Niners would have beat the Eagles last year in the NFC Championship, we already fully planned on signing Phillip Rivers for one game at the Super Bowl to help us during the Super Bowl because we were relying on Brock Purdy at the time. Obviously, as you can see, that didn't end up happening, but damn, wouldn't that have been crazy? If we could have got to the Super Bowl and had Phillip Rivers, I think our defense might have been able to halt them Chiefs and we could have been the champions instead of the Eagles. But I'm not mad about it. We always have this year to hopefully get back and hopefully get back into that big one and hopefully win it. It's the Niners. You never know. We might win it all. We might not win anything. You never really know how it's going to go with them. All you can do is fear the faithful, baby. Then the other thing I wanted to mention on sports, like I said, not too much this week. I do know that the Browns have a preseason game tonight, and it's a home game against Washington football team. So go Browns. I know you just heard me mention the Niners, but don't be fooled. Always Cleveland first. Go Dog Pound. I hope you guys show out tonight. We can get another preseason win. That'd be dope. I know we're about 3 weeks away from kickoff, or actually I think a little over 3 weeks away from kickoff. But next Sunday, I did want to mention, we will be doing a live fantasy football draft. I know last year we did basketball. We didn't get to do the football. This year, though, we will be doing the football draft, and it will be a separate episode from the pod, and that'll be next Sunday as well. So I'm looking really forward to that. So last thing I wanted to mention on sports for the week. I know I showed you the clip. We watched it together. I think it was yesterday. Logan Paul and Jake Paul got into a very heated argument on that podcast. So for those that don't know, Logan was able to show up at Jake Paul's event last Saturday where he fought Nate Diaz. However, upon entering the building, they wouldn't let him do so because he was draped out in Prime gear and his Prime bottles that he wanted to make sure were showing on all the cameras because he's trying to promote Prime, and right now it's getting yanked off of some shelves, and he wants to promote it. He wants to build the brand, build his business, as he said. What do you think of the argument that Jake Paul was pretty much like, it's my event, I want my sponsors, I don't want, you got your thing, sure, but I'm not going to let you advertise it during my event? Because Jake Paul's angle is when you do your WWE shit, you do that solo. You don't ever mention my name, really. I'm just your brother. You don't mention my name, my brands. I know you hate these guys, but bias aside, is there a right? Is there a wrong? Is there a middle ground?
I think that Jake should have told Logan, hey, don't wear your Prime gear if you're going to come to my shit, or don't sponsor your shit on my stuff. I think that should have been a conversation.
Instead of making the guys at the door be like, hey, yo, man.
Yeah, okay, whatever. But he didn't. But then Logan should have had enough respect for his brother to go and be like, all right, and then deal with it post professional working area, the fight, whatever. then address it. Don't fucking be a baby back bitch and
call him out on
and throw a fucking fit about it. Why would your brother want you to sponsor it? No, that is his event. He has his separate thing, just like just like Logan has his separate WWE. Jake has his separate thing that he wants to do, and why would he want somebody else's brand fucking advertised on his show? I wouldn't. No, but he also should have briefed him on it. I think they're both in the wrong. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer in this situation.
I lean more Logan, actually.
Of course you do.
I'm trying to keep the bias out of it. I kind of like what Logan said on the one angle of, okay, business. We're family, though. Like, if I'm telling you...
So Logan should have been like, okay, let me take off my stuff and change.
I think Logan's perspective is hey, wait, whoa, what do you mean I can't promote this in here? It should be, wait, let my brother know what he thinks of this. And then obviously word came back that was like, oh, that's his call.
Exactly.
Where I think I agree with Logan's thing, though, of like, well, why would you even sign a contract that says I can't show up and at least put a Prime bottle on the fucking table when you give your post-press conference? Like, that was the one thing I said that Logan was like, okay, I don't have to wear the clothes. I don't have to hold it up during the show or anything. You're telling me I can't put a bottle in front of you with the label facing out when you're doing an interview? It has to get brushed away out of the frame.
When Jake's doing an interview?
Yeah.
That's not his fucking brand.
Well,
that's Logan's fucking brand. Why, where does that make sense? Please tell me where that makes sense. I would love to know.
Let's humor it. I'm doing pod, and Jim tells me, hey, I got this new drink. I really want you to promote it.
But what's Jake's contract looking like?
Well, that's the thing. He had to sign that. And Logan's whole point was, well, why would you even sign something in this contract that says now I can't fucking promote one bottle of Prime? Like, it's completely excluding me and my like.
Okay, so he's gonna turn on a whole contract because his brother can't promote his business. Why would he do that?
That's true too.
I mean, come on, financial responsibility. Yes, they're brothers, but they're also separate fucking people.
And that was Jake's point, which was we're still separate.
Okay, sorry, Logan, you can't fucking let go of your brother's dick, but like, come on, let him be his own fucking person. Why? Because you can't fucking promote your own brand. Why? Because it's such a shitty drink and it's making people fucking sick. You can't sell it, and people are taking it off the shelves.
That was the one Jake point that that was actually the one Jake point that I went with. He's like,
please tag Logan Paul in this.
Because that's what Jake was kind of like he beat around the bush, but he was pretty much like, I forget exactly what he said, but he was pretty much saying, if you're giving me that to promote, like, it's going to be a bigger deal than if you gave me something else to promote. Like, you know, like, you gave me something that's already getting yanked off the shelves. Like, it's going to be a little bit hard to rope that in.
I mean, it's common fucking sense.
And health reports coming out about it.
Like, how, Logan, like, you're such a shitty person. How are you going to sit here and fucking promote a drink that's literally not even FDA approved? And if it is, then it's fucking along with the millions of other stupid shit on the shelves that are making everybody sick. Like, why? Like, it's over something so fucking stupid. Like, just take the shit off. Jake, have better fucking communication, and there you go. I mean, your fucking problems are solved.
And then I know the other little piece of the argument is that Jake, I guess, hasn't been persistent on getting Logan into the boxing ring again, which is what, like, Logan also wants to do. Like, I know he said he wants to box Tommy Fury. Not Tyson, Tommy Fury. And I know that he said that he kind of wants to box him, and Jake kind of made it sound like you got to jump through some loops to do that. But I also know, though, and you'll see how I'm pivoting and transitioning, Logan also mentioned, though, on that pod that he would like to see Jake get in WWE so they can do some tag team shit. I think that'll happen. I can see that
just
easily.
Just like Jake
happening.
said on fucking his podcast or whatever, that Logan has a lot of baggage he needs to unload.
That's
and
Logan's.
Jake has a lot of baggage that he needs to unload brother to brother behind closed doors, and they need to air the shit out or whatever. Because it does get competitive. You guys are twin fucking brothers.
One's a boxer, the one's a wrestler, the one's a podcaster, the one runs boxing events. Like, yeah, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. So.
As you were saying, though, I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, it's like you said, like, Well, no, you were like, yeah, the one does, like they're two separate entities, but they got a lot of different shit to unpack because, like you said, it's like they're so competitive with each other. Like the one's a podcaster, the one does this, well, the one is a wrestler, this one's a boxer, and it's like, oh, but no, I just thought that was interesting though to see them really clash like that because up until now they've kind of made it look like they're like right on par with each other, and I feel like on that pod, it was the first time that you got to see like, oh, these guys get a little spicy with each other, like, and you saw that competitive nature that you mentioned with them. So to pivot into it though, like I said, I think I could see Jake Paul going over into the wrestling world. So last topic to mention, I just don't know when that would happen though, by the way, the Jake Paul debut. I don't know when that would happen because I know he's still got some boxing fights. And I really don't think Triple H would sign him to WWE if he's still doing boxing. That's why I don't think Logan would be able to get away with it either. But we're talking wrestling. So the injury bug is officially going crazy. The injury bug is going on like COVID right now in WWE. I'm going to read off the list of people that are currently out right now, out of action and hurt. I'm going to do it quick, but it's a lot of names. Current injury list of WWE wrestlers. Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, Big E, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, Sonya Deville, Liv Morgan, Bayley, Elton Prince of Pretty Deadly, Dakota Kai, Sol Ruka, Braun Strowman, Shane McMahon, I don't know why we have him on there, Bray Wyatt, Wendy Chu, there's where Wendy Chu's been, Nikita Lyons, Robert Roode, R-Truth, Ariana Grace, I actually don't know who that one is, and Amari Miller. So the injury bug is crazy right now. What do you think of all those injuries?
That's crazy.
Anybody that you hope comes back soon? Or like you think will come back soon? Or
I don't know who's going to be back soon out of all this.
I think one of those names on that list.
I don't know.
Yeah, like Sonya, I saw tore her ACL, but
I don't really know.
hasn't she done that before where she's had a nasty injury? Like, what made her have that backstage role? What was that, neck? I think that was neck, something or other. Yeah, especially if you get into a wrestling match with Butch. Every German suplex is a goddamn gamble with that guy. But every single one. If you do a belly-to-belly, you're really dead. You're Big E at that point. But yeah, I hope all those guys get well soon. I hope they can get back into the ring, especially Bayley, Dakota Kai. I know Io is getting her singles run right now. Been awesome to see, and hopefully she can continue it, and hopefully she can hang on to her title. But I do think there's somebody tonight, I'm going to do a hot take, that I think might actually lose their title tonight, and I think it's a little bit overdue, to be honest, and I really like who's projected to win it. So, on SmackDown, for my wrestling fans, it looks like the main event tonight is for the U.S. title. It's on the line. Austin Theory versus Santos Escobar of the LWO, who's continuously gaining organic momentum and getting a lot of good merch sales in, and doing really well right now just in general and is kind of getting some good traction. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I think I have a good case. I think tonight, Santos Escobar defeats Austin Theory in the main event for the SmackDown United States Championship. What do you think of that? Does Theory lose tonight, or am I pipe dreaming?
No, he probably does. I don't really follow.
Well, we can look at it like this, which I know it doesn't seem to mean much as it used to, but they held a fatal four-way last week on SmackDown, main event as well. So they're showcasing it big time. The winner faces Theory this week. Santos won. Santos beat Ray, LA Knight, and for the sake of no lag time, I forgot the fourth name. But he ended up winning that Fatal 4 match. And Ray and LA Knight were two names in there. LA Knight won the Battle Royal the very next night on SummerSlam, main card. I think Santos wins. I think they're done with Theory. I think Triple H has tried it. He probably told Vince, like, look, I'll see. Whatever you see in this kid, I'm going to try it. I'm going to fucking try it. Cena Mania, safe to say. What'd that do? Long haul, what'd that do? Nothing. Since then, like I said, really nothing. He hasn't really had a program that's been red hot. For God's sake, he was in the Slim Jim Battle Royal and lost it. Lost it. I think if you're going to make this whole thing make sense, unless Austin Theory gets disqualified, loses the match and retains the belt, and builds for a no DQ match at Payback, unless that happens, I think we got a United States Championship tonight by the end of SmackDown, and his name is Santos Escobar. I don't know why I said it like that, but Dooley, don't get offended. I love you. But had to mention that. And then just the last couple of things I wanted to mention. Ric Flair admitted in an interview on his own podcast earlier this week that he fell asleep during his last match last year. Yeah, and they showed the screenshot where he's laying in the corner. He's all bloodied up, and he's kind of got like his head rested on like the bottom rope, bottom turnbuckle. His eyes are out. He's out. And you know what's funny? He mentioned on that same pod that he's hitting it, still getting back in the ring. Rick, you have a pacemaker. You fell asleep on the bottom turnbuckle. Go home. Do your podcast. Don't get back into the ring. He faked a heart attack the last time he was on the outside, and his family was terrified. Only Ric Flair would try to sell a heart attack when you got a pacemaker in your body. Like, imagine that. He didn't even tell his family that. That's why, like, when everybody was like, oh, why'd your wife look so concerned? He's like, I didn't tell her that was a work. And he's over here, like, getting chops going, right? You gotta love Ric Flair. Woo! But, yeah, so Ric Flair, stay out of the ring. But, yeah, I just thought that was hilarious. He fell asleep during his last match. But now we get to talk and close out on three things, one of which being two go quick, the other one not so much. First one was RVD, the great Rob Van Dam, debuted on AEW this week, debuted on Dynamite, and had a match with Jungle Boy Jack Perry that I saw was very well received. Love seeing RVD. I know he just got inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame earlier this year, but he's always been one to bounce from promotion to promotion and still look great doing it. Over 50 years old, and he's still hitting 5-star frog splashes and kicks from the ring to the barricade, moving like a cat, doing the rolling thunder. RVD, I'm happy to see you back in there killing it, man. He's been doing absolutely incredible, and I hope that AEW, see, I'm rooting for him. I hope that they sign RVD and can get him on that AEW All-In card, because I think RVD's great, and he showed that he can still go. Obviously, not every week, but it looks like with the right program, I mean, he just stole the show on Wednesday, and he hasn't even wrestled for AEW all but one match now. And he stole the whole show on the card. I mean, he is the whole damn show. But love seeing that. And speaking of which, AEW All In. I think Tony Khan got really sick and fucking tired of me bashing in the past couple weeks, because now he's starting to put some matches on the card. However, Tony, I'm going to bash you again. Why is your world champion on the pre-show? For those that don't know, MJF, the world champion of AEW, and his partner Adam Cole, which I didn't know this before, so I'm glad I'm making sure I got all my details in line this week, that they have the main event at AEW All In booked. You got, looks like they're building for this MJF versus Adam Cole feud. Which Adam Cole, that former NXT guy, now he's getting really over, teaming up with MJF, kind of like the impromptu team that you didn't think would coexist. But now they're making them, they're facing for the world champion in the main event, to my understanding. But now in the pre-show, MJF and Adam Cole are facing for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles. Now I see some people are saying the point of, oh, well, MJF, you know, if he's starting off the show, it's going to also get people into their seats faster. Okay, could be true. I'll bite. What about this part, though? The world champion that is competing in the main event against Adam Cole is teaming up in the pre-show with his opponent in the main event that he's supposed to be working heel against, and they're competing for the secondary tag team titles against two guys that are like, sure, are they over? Yes. Are they MJF and Adam Cole level? No. Am I wrong? Is that stupid? Am I calling a spade a spade? Well, put it in perspective. It would be like if next year on WrestleMania, Roman faced Cody for the main event, but then they teamed up on the pre-show and went after the NXT tag titles. Now, how would that look?
Maybe that's why it's on the pre-show.
you got to watch, though, where you start making your world champion look bad. Because, again, I look at it like this. Well, how about the no-name guy? Or not no-name guy, but how about
we already know that fucking, what the fuck's his face that runs it doesn't know his ass from his elbow.
Tony
Khan
Khan
just book a match. So, I mean,
what he does is he tapes names around a bunch of darts.
And then just fucking throws them.
And then he just starts throwing them at the board and see what color they land on. Oh, it's red and green. Okay, we got MJF and Adam Cole. They're going to tag team, and then they're going to face each other. Like, but yeah, I thought that was pretty crazy. And then just a little something different I wanted to do. I know I started off with some current events. Let's end on one last current event and one last topic, and then we will skeet and skedaddle and get out of here, and I'll tell you what the battle is for tonight if you don't already know. There was one thing that happened this week that you have to try to get all your details in check about it. If not, you're going to get it all mixed up, and I'm curious to see what you think about this one because I know I've kind of been keeping you updated along the way as well because it's a big news story. Lil Tay, the youngest flexer. We don't know if she faked her death, if her brother faked her death, or if the dad faked the death. We don't really know how this is playing out right now. All we know is if you take it from step one, I think it was on Wednesday, the news story broke that Lil Tay and her brother were reportedly passed away, reportedly dead. So, people came out, RIP. Oh my God, it's Lil Tay. It's the youngest flexer. Then later in the night, there was a report that came out where TMZ took the report down and was like, hey, this is one of those cases where we've been trying to get confirmation on this thing for hours and we can't get anything. Like, we can't get a hold of family. We can't get a hold of anybody here. We don't actually know if these people are dead. Reports coming down. Like, it's all looking like a rumor right now. To which then Lil Tay breaks silence, goes on her Instagram, claims it was hacked. Something involving her brother, or not her brother, something involving her father. Instagram was hacked, put out a bunch of false information into which they did not mean to do that. That was not what they intended to do. And they wanted to put the kibosh onto that real quick. But then it comes out that maybe the brother did really stage this thing because he was the one that staged all of Lil Tay's videos and wrote all of her scripts for her to say back then when she was doing all that shit with like X and Lil Pump. Yeah, with the youngest flexer era, with the money phone, which was hilarious, by the way. And then the last report that came out about speculation on what happened is that the dad was trying to use them as being dead to start a GoFundMe page, essentially, to, try to do we need money to come up with the bills and all that, just for that essentially to be bullshit and him to use the GoFundMe money. But then the report breaks this morning that we've been fooled this whole time, and this could just be Lil Tay and her brother with one more surge of clout, and they didn't think that the faking of their death would get to such a big trending level as it did, because that actually turns into a legal thing. So what do you think of this whole Lil Tay? Where's the truth? Where's the truth in here?
There's no truth to it.
If you were to take a crack at it anywhere in here, is it Lil Tay and her brother trying to pop out again? Is it her father trying to get a bag?
Is it the father trying to get a bag? If it was that shit would have happened so long ago. I think it was her and her brother fucking
back at it.
What can we do to get one more go? Or
one more run?
How can we get viral again? Maybe not even one more go. How can we go viral again? We've been out of the light for too long. I don't know what the fuck their motive is. Why does anybody do what the fuck?
Yeah, I actually don't know if Lil Tay continued to be a content. I actually don't know how she went about that. Like I said, last thing I heard about Lil Tay was 2016, 2017, somewhere in that era with the money phone and doing all that shit. Where she's, you don't got all these cars, your mama broke, that kind of shit. My house costs more than, or my risk costs more than your rent or whatever.
Yeah.
But
the last I heard from her was fucking Vine.
Yeah.
Before that.
So, Lil Tay, we don't really know what the hell's going on with this whole situation. She ain't dead, though. We do know that much. She ain't dead. So, let's just see how it pans out. Let's see who's guilty. The youngest flexer lives for now. She's just not quite flexing as she was in her day. But on that note, thank you for a great episode of Pull Up a Chair episode 50. We had Snuka pulling up a chair. We had my beautiful wife for a third week in a row pulling up a chair. Thank you so much, sweet honey. And so happy to have you back as well in the Thunderdome, and always love hearing your perspectives and your takes on everything. Thank you guys for being tuned in. Pull Up a Chair episode 50. Live on a special hip-hop birthday 50th anniversary on a Friday. Beautiful sleepless Friday night. We got a new freestyle out from me, Tony Fontana 4. Also some bars to celebrate. Produced by Hit Boy, out now on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. So it is up on all three of those as well. Tony Fontana 4 freestyle. Tonight I will be doing a little bit of a pre-show where I jam some hip-hop 50th, some records that I feel like are iconic in the genre and in the culture. And then we will be pivoting and going live for a winner's bracket, Johnny Cash versus Bob Dylan winner's bracket matchup. And then next week we will be back with hip-hop. I'll just tell you now, Trippie Redd versus Juice WRLD winner's bracket showdown. Hip-hop 50 will be celebrating the rest of the year. I'm going to try to get some more great hip-hop battles in as well. Eminem versus 50, Jay-Z versus Nas. A lot of great ones coming up. Thank you for being tuned in with us today. Happy birthday, hip-hop. Happy 50th. Once again, happy birthday to Snuka. Love y'all. Keep the love high and the hate low. We'll see y'all tonight. Stay blessed and less stressed. Do you have a quote that you would like to share? Keep the love high and the hate low. Wake up with a smile on, goddammit. Peace. Hell yeah, Beanie.